Throughout human history, a single powerful question has echoed in our stories, our philosophies, and our quietest moments of reflection. Must we truly die? The desire to live forever, to cheat death and experience an endless existence, is perhaps one of our most ancient and deeply held dreams. This yearning for immortality is not a modern invention. It is woven into the very fabric of our earliest civilizations. From the sun-drenched lands of ancient Egypt to the misty shores of Celtic Britain, cultures across the globe have told tales of eternal life, of gods who never age, and of heroes who sought to conquer their own mortality. These stories reveal a fundamental human wish to transcend the natural limits of our lifespan. These myths and legends were more than just simple bedtime stories. They were humanity's first attempts to grapple with the profound mystery of our own existence and its inevitable end. Think of the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest surviving works of literature. The great king, devastated by the death of his beloved friend, embarks on a perilous quest to find the secret to eternal life. He travels to the ends of the earth, facing monsters and gods, all driven by the hope of escaping the fate that awaits us all. His journey, though ultimately unsuccessful, captures the timeless human struggle against the finality of death and the powerful hope for something more. Similarly, tales of a fountain of youth or a mythical elixir of life have appeared in countless cultures. These stories promised a magical solution to the problem of aging, a way to turn back the clock and restore the vitality of our younger years. The ancient Chinese emperors sent vast expeditions in search of legendary islands where the peaches of immortality were said to grow. In Europe, alchemists toiled for centuries in their laboratories trying to create the philosopher's stone, a substance believed not only to turn lead into gold, but also to grant its owner an indefinite lifespan. This universal dream was not just about avoiding an end, it was also about the promise of what an extended life could hold. To watch civilizations rise and fall, and to love without the sorrow of impending loss. The concept of forever was humanity's ultimate ambition, a grand and seemingly impossible goal. It was a dream that would persist through the ages, slowly shifting from the realm of magic and myth towards a new horizon, one that would be explored not by sorcerers or kings, but by a new kind of adventurer, the scientist. For thousands of years, the pursuit of immortality remained firmly in the domain of myth, magic, and religion. But as the centuries passed, a profound shift began to occur in human thought. The age of myth slowly gave way to the age of reason. A new way of understanding the world started to take hold, one based on observation, on experimentation, and on logic. This was the dawn of science. Instead of asking how to find a magical fountain, people started to wonder what biological processes were responsible for aging. Death was no longer seen as an unchangeable fate decreed by the gods. It became a biological puzzle waiting to be solved. Early pioneers of anatomy and medicine began to dissect the human body. They sought to understand how it worked, and more importantly, why it eventually failed. The 20th century, in particular, marked a pivotal turning point. Scientists unlocked the secrets of germs. They developed powerful antibiotics to fight infections, and they created vaccines that could prevent deadly diseases. Suddenly, illnesses that had plagued humanity for centuries were becoming manageable. The average human lifespan began to increase dramatically. People were living longer than ever before, not because of a magic potion, but because of scientific discovery. The ancient dream of immortality was reborn. The quest was no longer for an elusive elixir of life, but for a deeper understanding of our own biology. The stage was set for a new chapter in humanity's oldest pursuit. As the 20th century dawned, the world was alive with a new and powerful sense of possibility. The old certainties of the past were giving way to the thrilling promises of science and technology. This was an age of invention, where the impossible seemed to be becoming possible every day. Against this backdrop of rapid change, the ancient dream of extending life found new champions. They started to ask a bold question: could the decline of old age be reversed? One of the first prominent figures was the Russian-French biologist Elie Metchnikov, a Nobel Prize winner. He proposed that aging was caused by toxic bacteria in our intestines. He believed that these harmful microbes produced poisons that slowly damaged the body over time. His proposed solution was surprisingly simple. He advocated for a diet rich in fermented foods, particularly yogurt. He observed that people in the Balkans, who consumed large amounts of yogurt, seemed to live exceptionally long and healthy lives. Mechnikov's theory, though now considered overly simplistic, was revolutionary for its time. It was one of the first attempts to link diet directly to the aging process in a scientific way. It offered a sense of control over a process that had always been seen as beyond human influence. It laid the groundwork for the modern focus on nutrition and gut health as crucial components of longevity. This thinking led to a famous and controversial episode: Serge Voronov and his monkey gland operations. In the 1920s, Voronov proposed a radical theory: youthful vitality tied to testicle secretions. He transplanted tissue from young animals into older men to restore vigor and reverse aging. He chose monkeys for their biological similarity to humans. Voronov began grafting thin slices of monkey testicle tissue onto his wealthy aging clients. The procedure became a sensation, capturing headlines worldwide. Demand was enormous. Men from all over the globe, including artists, politicians, businessmen, flocked to his Paris clinic, hoping to buy more youthful years. Patients reported feeling more energetic, stronger, revitalized. But scientists were skeptical. There was no solid evidence the transplanted tissue survived, let alone produced hormones to reverse aging. Many today attribute the effects to the placebo effect, belief-driven improvements. As rigorous methods emerged, Voronov's work was discredited. The craze faded into a cautionary tale, yet it left a legacy: intense public desire for quick fixes and the need for evidence-based research. One of the most influential figures in this movement was the American nutritionist and health food pioneer, Horace Fletcher. He became famous for promoting a practice that came to be known as Fletcherism. His core belief was that all food must be chewed to an absolute pulp until it became a liquid, before being swallowed. He argued that this intensive chewing process allowed the body to extract the maximum amount of nutrients from a smaller amount of food, reducing the strain on the digestive system. Fletcher's ideas became incredibly popular. He toured the country giving lectures and demonstrations, earning the nickname the Great Masticator. Alongside dietary advice, the importance of regular physical activity also began to enter the mainstream conversation about longevity. This growing emphasis on diet and exercise represented a fundamental shift. It moved the focus away from curing illness after it appeared, and towards preventing it in the first place through a healthy lifestyle. It was a crucial step in the journey, teaching us that the quest for a longer life begins not in a futuristic lab, but at our own dinner tables and in our daily routines. The mid-20th century ushered in an era of unprecedented medical breakthroughs. Humanity was about to receive one of its greatest gifts: a weapon that would alter the fight against disease. This was the dawn of the antibiotic age. Before this time, a simple scratch could lead to a fatal infection. Pneumonia, tuberculosis, meningitis. The discovery of penicillin by Alexander Fleming in 1928. Mass production in the 1940s. Suddenly, doctors had a powerful tool against bacterial infections. Soldiers wounded in World War II were saved from infections. Alongside antibiotics, vaccines became widespread. Polio, a terrifying illness that could cause paralysis, brought under control by the Salk vaccine and the Sabin vaccine. Campaigns to eradicate smallpox gathered momentum. Measles, mumps, rubella antibiotics and vaccines worked in tandem to create a new reality. They didn't target aging itself, but they extended life by preventing premature death. Eliminating infectious diseases let many more people live into old age. The period from the 1940s to the 1960s saw the consolidation of what we now think of as modern medicine. One of the most significant areas of progress was in understanding and treating heart disease. Researchers began to identify risk factors such as high blood pressure, cholesterol, smoking, and surgical techniques like the first open-heart surgeries offered hope where none had existed before. This period also saw a boom in medical technology. All of these innovations contributed to a healthcare system that was becoming increasingly effective at keeping people alive. For the first time, a majority of people in industrialized nations could realistically expect to live into their 70s and beyond. This inspired a small but dedicated group. They believed that after decades of progress, defeating aging might be within reach. In that optimistic climate, the first organized life extension societies formed. One major early group was the Life Extension Society, founded in 1964 by Evan Cooper in the U.S. They proposed freezing a person at legal death, preserving them until future medicine could repair the damage, cure the disease, and bring them back to life. The first human cryopreservation occurred in 1967. Dr. James Bedford, a psychology professor, frozen in hope of revival. The event met widespread skepticism and even ridicule, yet it was a landmark moment. They planted seeds for a movement that would grow in decades to come, setting the stage for late 20th century discoveries and debates. The 1970s and 1980s marked a monumental leap in our understanding of life itself. Following the discovery of the DNA double helix structure in 1953, scientists had been working tirelessly to decipher the genetic code. This new genetic perspective suggested that the process of aging might be programmed directly into our DNA. One of the most important concepts to emerge from this era was the discovery of telomeres. These are the protective caps at the end of our chromosomes, which were found to shorten each time a cell divides. This shortening process acts like a kind of biological clock. When the telomeres become too short, the cell can no longer divide, and eventually dies. This quest would eventually lead to the discovery of telomerase, an enzyme that can add length back to telomeres, effectively resetting the cellular clock. Beyond telomeres, the growing field of genetics started to reveal the complex role that genes play in determining lifespan. Studies showed that altering single genes could dramatically extend an organism's life. It now included the tantalizing possibility of one day rewriting our own genetic code to slow down the inexorable march of time, bringing the quest for immortality into the age of genetic engineering. While geneticists were exploring the code of life, another group of researchers was investigating a different yet equally profound path to longevity. Eating less could lead to living longer. Animals fed a nutrient-rich but calorie-reduced diet lived dramatically longer than their counterparts who could eat as much as they wanted. The calorie-restricted animals not only lived longer, but they also remained healthier. They showed lower incidences of age-related diseases. One leading idea was that reducing calorie intake lowered the body's metabolic rate, which in turn reduced the production of harmful free radicals. By eating less, the body essentially burns cleaner, slowing down the accumulation of this cellular damage. Much of the groundbreaking longevity research of the 1990s focused on a tiny, transparent roundworm called Caenorhabditis elegans. In 1993, a discovery was made in these tiny worms that would change the field of aging forever. A scientist named Cynthia Kenyon and her team found that by altering a single gene called DAF2, they could make the worms live more than twice as long as normal. They stayed active, healthy, youthful for a much greater portion of their extended lives. This suggested that there might be a master regulatory pathway that controls the rate of aging. It provided a concrete molecular mechanism for how eating less could lead to a longer life. This was a crucial finding because it suggested that the basic mechanisms of aging have been conserved throughout evolution, and likely to humans as well. As the science of longevity produced more and more fascinating discoveries, the topic began to move out of obscure scientific journals and into the public consciousness. The anti-aging movement transformed from a niche interest into a multi-billion-dollar global business. A key focus of this new industry was hormones. Human growth hormone, or HGH in particular, was touted as a miraculous anti-aging drug. This commercial boom created a significant and often confusing divide, forcing a distinction between the serious science of aging, known as gerontology, and the often exploitative anti-aging industry. A more immediate and practical truth became impossible to ignore. The single greatest tool for extending life was already in our hands. What we eat, how much we move, and what we avoid form the very foundation of a long and healthy life. The focus expanded beyond purely physical health to encompass the intricate relationship between the mind and the body. Stress management, social connection, having a sense of purpose as crucial components of the longevity equation. As we stand here today at the beginning of the 21st century, The age-old quest for immortality is entering its most dramatic and speculative chapter yet. A new and powerful idea has captured the imagination of futurist scientists and technologists: the singularity. Many proponents, such as the inventor and futurist Ray Kurzweil, have pinpointed a specific year, 2045. By this date, they predict the power of artificial intelligence will have surpassed human intelligence. This superintelligence could finally provide us with the tools to halt and reverse aging at a molecular level. It imagines a world where nanobots, microscopic robots, patrol our bloodstream repairing cellular damage. It speaks of mind uploading. Our identity, memories, personality could live on indefinitely, free from the frailties of the physical body. The path ahead is uncertain, filled with immense promise and profound ethical questions. Will we conquer aging only to face a world of unforeseen social challenges? What will it mean to be human when our biology is no longer our destiny? We do not yet have the answers, but what is certain is that the dream of eternal life, born in ancient myths nurtured through a century of science, is more alive today than ever before. The race for immortality has reached a new starting line, and the finish, for the first time in history, might just be within sight.